that the Holkar Stadium has received 3 demerit points as a result after ICC match referee Chris Broad submitted his report after consultation with both Rohit Sharma and Steve Smith, the two captains, the captains of both teams in the third test match. Now, BCCI say that they will now have 14 days if they wish to appeal against the sanctions. Speaking on the pitch, Chris Broad, the match referee, said the pitch was very dry, did not provide a balance between bat and ball, and it was favouring spinners from the start. The 5th ball of the match broke through the pitch surface and continued to occasionally break the surface, providing little or no seam movement, and there was excessive and uneven bounce throughout the match. So based on this report that the match referee Chris Broad has submitted, 3 demerit points would be handed over to the Indian team. And why is it that this becomes very important? Because remember, India are in with a fighting chance to make it to the WTC final. But before these demerit points, the situation was pretty clear. Even if India went on to lose the Ahmedabad test, all they wanted was for Sri Lanka not to win 2-0 versus New Zealand, and India would have still qualified. Now, with these 3 demerit points, the situation is such that if India were not to win the Ahmedabad test match, then all Sri Lanka need to do is win 1 out of the 2 test matches that they will be playing in New Zealand, and that 1 win can then take Sri Lanka to the WTC final. So this pitch has in fact resulted in jeopardizing India's chances of making it to the WTC final. Joining us live on our program, a living legend in Sunny Gavaskar, the man after whom this particular series, the Border-Gavaskar series, has been named. Saibhai, the first question that comes to my mind is, after we've received this news of India getting those 3 demerit points, I know BCCI will have 14 days to go back and appeal against this, but the point is, was it worth it? I know the pitch was made to favour the home team, but at the end of it, if it gets 3 demerit points, it jeopardizes your chances of that WTC final that you want to make.
Yes, it certainly does, doesn't it? Because the moment you have a demerit point, we saw that that is what happened last time around, and otherwise New Zealand wouldn't have qualified for the last year's 2 years back, the World Test Championship finals. So I think India miscalculated there. But the one thing that I would like to know is, there was this test match in November in Brisbane, Gabba, where the match finished in 2 days. How many demerit points did that particular pitch get? And who was the match referee then? Because I think 3 demerit points is a little harsh, because this pitch, yes, the ball turned, but it wasn't dangerous. It wasn't dangerous. When Australia get to 77 for 1 wicket, it actually tells you that as the day went on, the pitch got a lot better. Even when Australia batted, you saw that it actually was completely different. India collapsed for 109, but when Australia came into bat, it was a lot different. They had that partnership between Labuschagne and Usman Khawaja, 96 runs. Now, nobody can have a 96-run partnership if the pitch is that unplayable, that you're going to have a 3 demerit point situation. So I just want to know, just to be, because all these things have to be on parity. It cannot be left to an individual. It cannot be left to an individual to decide, no, 3 demerit points. That's the reason I want to know how many demerit points that the Gabba pitch in that Australia versus South Africa match got, and who was the match referee there.
Fair point, Saibhai. And what he's trying to speak about here is the fact that you need to have the same standard. If a test match finished in 2 days at the Gabba, and if it finishes in 2.5 days in India, then the situation should be same. If demerit points are given here, should be given there. Saibhai, just to add on to that, would you then say, and this is something that Rohit Sharma also said in the press conference today, that when it comes to test matches in India, there is greater talk about the pitch and how the pitch is playing, and it does not happen with the rest of the world? Is that a fair sort of criticism that the Indian captain had?
Absolutely, absolutely. Every time I think teams come, and basically from England and Australia, they're only talking about pitches, because they're actually making a ready-made excuse before they play that in case they lose, oh, the pitches were the ones that did us in. Have you ever heard an Indian team ever complain about pitches? They get some of the nastiest pitches that they have. There was a pitch, I think 3-4 years ago in Johannesburg, where India won the game. having lost the first two matches. But nobody reported that. The deliveries were flying from a length and hitting hit Dean Elgar on the forehead. But this is what I'm saying, that it is always India that gets blamed, and which is the reason I want to know who was the match referee for that Gabba game.